convenient and secure building for all of your storage needs. We now offer outdoor covered parking for that antique car, boat, or RV. Due to our recent expansion, we offer units that range in size from as small as a bedroom closet to as big as a one-car garage. All of our units are inside and climate controlled with 24-hour access and security. Our leases run month to month, so you're not locked into a long-term commitment, giving you the flexibility to move your belongings out the minute you purchase your new home. Stop by today or give us a call, 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage.
They're cool, clean, and secure.
This is Sammy Dixon at the all-new Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. If you haven't had a chance to come see our new state-of-the-art showroom, then there's no better time than right now. While you're here, take advantage of huge savings on new Ford trucks. Get more than $10,000 off on select new F-150s while they last. You must hurry. They're going fast. Over $10,000 off on the best-selling truck in America for 39 straight years. You can also take advantage of money-saving low interest rates on new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Our new bigger showroom means more inventory, and that means bigger savings for you. Come to the house at Good Service Bill and buy from Mike Birch Ford, and we'll give you 5 free oil changes following 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty.
If you're looking for an incredible deal on a new or pre-owned vehicle from the dealer who has always put you first, stop the search. Call the all-new Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear.
This is Sammy Dixon saying thank you. Thank you very much for your business.
And good morning. You're listening to WIFO-FM in Jessup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Second day of June, Thursday morning. Butch Hubbard here with you. 72 degrees here in southeast Georgia, getting up to around 93, kind of a carbon copy yesterday. Hot with a high near 93 with a 40% chance of afternoon and evening showers today. The Ottawa River level is getting on down there, 6.3 feet and falling. Should be at a very nice level for the catfish tournament here in Wayne County on the Ottawa this Saturday and Sunday. All right, it's now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty, located on Macon Street in downtown Jessup. Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. It is 8 o'clock, world-famous Butch and Bob Show, and Bob, we got a very special guest in this morning.
Yeah, we had the Senate race not long ago on primary day, 3 candidates in the race, and the man to our right here has won it without a runoff, Mr. Blake Tillery. Appreciate you coming back.
Thank you, Bob, for letting me.
Were you shocked as everybody else was? I mean, that's all I heard was shocked. People were surprised you were winning an 11 county district race without a runoff. That's pretty impressive.
I wish I could take all the credit for it, but we had a lot of people down here in Wayne County and other counties that were helping us. Again, shock. I knew I was working as hard as I could, but I knew more they were working as hard as they could. And I really owe them a debt of gratitude.
Where were you primary night? Where'd you hear the votes at?
Ended up going back to my office because I was standing at a polling precinct till a little after 7 p.m. myself, and folks just sort of ended up gathering at my office, and I sat at my desk. I'm a pretty low-key guy, so I sat at my desk at my computer just like I was at work and watched them come in and tallied the results there.
So, when did you find out that you won it without a runoff?
The numbers started looking good. We could hear you. Like we had you on one of my computers coming in, and then I had another radio station on another. We had the Secretary of State pulled up on my computer, and so we were watching it and trying to keep up with everything. And the results from down here in Wayne County were very strong. And again, just very thankful to the people of Wayne County.
Now you're getting ready to go to Atlanta soon. You know, the legislation will be here before you know it. They'll have all types of events. I just wondered, Wayne County will have the Eggs and Issues breakfast before you head up there. Do other counties have events such similar to that? Or?
Toombs does. Some of the other counties do as well. Some of them are a little less active, as you could probably imagine. But Toombs and Wayne are probably your bigger drivers population-wise. And then Appling. Actually, Appling had the second most number of votes in this past election. Appling's always been a player.
They had a lot of people in the
sheriff's race.
Yeah, sure.
Had a huge sheriff's race. And again, Mark Melton over there pulled that one off without a runoff. He did a really good job over there.
Candidate race, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
full race over there as well.
That was impressive as well. So, again, tell us what you're looking forward to when you get to Atlanta. Do you try to get on some committees, or what do you want to get involved in, or what's your plan going to Atlanta?
The first thing we'll continue what we talked about in the campaign. It worked for 57% of the vote. So we'll keep talking about low taxes, keep talking about infrastructure and bringing jobs to Southeast Georgia. Have a first meeting actually today with some of the senators to talk about things that I guess they're going to want to push and get some ideas from them. One of the things that I said when I was on here previously is I know I'm not the smartest person in the room, and luckily our district's full of 172,000 people, and a lot of them have very good ideas. I look forward to hearing their ideas on how we can improve our region, our state, things we need to be doing locally to improve Southeast Georgia. Giving out my cell phone number many a times. I started giving out my email because I think people feel a little bit more comfortable emailing somebody rather than calling them. And that's
they don't want to interrupt you sometimes. You know?
I guess so. That's Blake@BlakeTillery.com, and I'll respond to you. I'm probably going to have to get to the point where if you're not from the people who are emailing me from Atlanta and Chatsworth and Athens, they may not get as quick a response. But the people who live in Wayne, Toombs, Wheeler, Treatland, the 11 counties, they will certainly get a response.
And just joined us, Blake Tiller in the studio is with us. Like I said, I'm sure, do they have an orientation for the new people in Atlanta, the new elected officials?
Yes, sir. The Carl Vinson Institute does a training program in December. But remember, I'm not exactly, I know where the bathrooms are, I guess. Tongue in cheek, I worked for Senator Williams when I was 19 when Governor Perdue was first elected. Worked there my freshman year of college at the University of Georgia, and then I went back and worked one session in between undergraduate and law school. So I'm familiar with the building, familiar with the faces, but at the same time, I know that I'm going to need to learn from others. Again, I'm not the smartest person in the room. The people who are here from this district have great ideas, and I look forward to learning from their ideas and borrowing the good ones.
Aren't you going to Atlanta today?
Yes, sir. They're supposed to be up there at 11:30. The people of Wayne County are a little more important than the senators in Atlanta, so I will be here. I wanted to be on this show first, and I'll head up there this afternoon to.
And what will you be doing up there this week there in Atlanta?
It's just today. Some of the caucus members are getting together to talk about, I guess, ideas that they have for the next session. I'm sure religious liberty will come up, and I'm sure that some of the other things that we've seen with vetoes of the governor and other important issues affecting Southeast Georgia will come up.
Does the governor call the winners? Have you heard from him?
I've not heard from the governor.
Okay, I didn't know if that was part of his is a habit each year or what, but I guess not.
And the other thing is, Butch, I'm the low guy on the totem pole. Let's be honest about this. I'm just a redheaded guy from Toombs County. I'm not that important. So.
Well, as a party member, I thought he might do that, but I guess there's so many of them that he couldn't do it. So, yeah. So you're heading up there today, and then you got the big orientation in December, and then you hit the ground running now. How will Tommy help you Tommy Williams, Senator Tommy Williams, how will he help you between now and the end of the year? Because he's still the senator until January, right?
He is. It's his job. I'm getting some of the calls I think he was previously receiving, and that's fine. I gave out my cell phone number, 912-245-9915, for a reason, so that people could feel like if they had an issue that we could attack it straight on. But Tommy's still the senator. He's represented this area for 18 years, and I hope that I can continue to lean on him. He knows where some of the levers you need to pull and some of the buttons you need to push are for continuing to help Southeast Georgia.
Well, that's what you were talking about when you were on the show together, the fact that you've got to learn to work with folks and to get what you want. I mean, a lone wolf up there just cannot do it. There's all the other votes and all the other parties coming into being to be able to get something done. And that's one of the things that Tommy's been able to do is he's had some good ideas, but of course he's got to get other folks on board to be able to get legislation passed and then to the governor's desk.
And a lot of that's because of his own character and the way he conducted himself. He proved himself to be a person of character, a person who understood the issues affecting our state. And when you can prove yourself to be that way, the other members of your caucus will listen. I hope I can follow in those footsteps.
Yeah, and but the family connections and all the family responsibilities that Tommy has and his entrepreneurial spirit, he's going to spend more time with his family and expand those businesses that he's working on.
Yes, sir. That's what he says.
Yeah, so we look, we'll have Tommy on. Didn't you say November, December, Bob? Somewhere along there?
Along there, yeah. We're going to have him on. I'm curious, we had the people from No Ash at All here yesterday. Have you been in touch with those people? I'm sure you know about the coal ash issue here in Wayne County.
That was one of the first meetings I went to when I had announced I was running, but no one knew who I was, and I was able to sit in the middle of the room, not the back. I sat right in the middle and just took notes to learn the issue. Again, I think what you'll see from me is I'm going to listen to learn the issue before I speak about it, and I tried to do that on the coal ash issue as well. I've been in touch with several people about it, and still I really turned to Mr. Lindsey Thomas to talk to me about the coal ash issue because I know he's so integrally involved in it. He's been a good resource for me there.
Yeah, he is a good, very, very good resource. I'm glad that he moved back here to Wayne County and still is active, involved with issues and activities.
Yes, sir.
And so we had a couple of committee members on the Butch and Bob Show yesterday, and they're trying to expand their membership because they know that numbers work, when it comes to putting pressure on stuff. Do you see, I'm not sure how much you've studied, is there any legal thing at this particular time, you being an attorney, that can be done? I mean, you got Republic, when they were on here saying the fact they've dotted all their I's, crossed all their T's, are following all the rules and regulations that the EPA and EPD has given them. They've done nothing wrong. They're going by the book per se. But you've got folks in this area who don't want a rail yard built and tons of coal ash coming in each state. What can we do?
Well, you asked me with two different hats on my head now, the senator-elect and then the legal capacity. Let's start with the legal capacity. That's probably one that I understand a little bit better. If the contract is written in such a way that Republic cannot be stopped from bringing the coal ash here, you still have the court of public opinion, which I believe the people of Wayne County have done a great job of waging their battle in, to receive concessions. Remember, you're dealing with a company that's traded on a Fortune 500 company that's traded publicly, and they're going to want to make sure that that name and that brand is protected. And I think that the people of Wayne County have done a great job to position themselves for concessions, even if it isn't a breach of contract for them to be doing what they're doing, to make sure that the natural environment and the water table here are protected. So that's the legal side of it. From a political side of it, you've got other people who are waging your battle as well. You've got people at the Department of Natural Resources. You've got Chad Nimmer. You've got Bill Werkheiser. I'm sure that I will now be in that battle as well, waging your battle from the political side. So I think Wayne County is very well taken care of on this issue. I hope that now the public has to stay involved. If you
can't see just that's what I told him yesterday. You can't see just a handful of people. It's got to be a lot of folks to be able to change a company's mind or even the government's mind.
But I believe the people of Wayne County are well on the way to that.
Okay.
Doing a great job.
So the court of public opinion, y'all use that a lot, attorneys do, don't you?
Well, I think the first time I actually heard the phrase was in the coal ash meeting.
Oh, did you? That's the first time you heard that?
Well, the first time I heard it about this issue was in the coal ash meeting, and I think it might have actually been Congressman Thomas that said it that night.
All right. Oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you're going to be actively involved in that, because I know it's a very important opinion, subject for us here. When Republic was on here, I mean, one of the questions because they have sites all over the place, environmental sites all over the place. So why don't they put it one where there's not a major aquifer right up under it? This Florida aquifers are southeast Georgia, North Florida, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And, it's not like you're putting a dump truck load or two of coal ash out there every day. You get that rail yard in here, and it's tons a day. And just so many people see a catastrophe could happen, that much coal ash in one spot.
Well, the washing out of the train cars is what actually concerned me even more. Even if you have a lined pit that this is going in, the washing out of the train cars, is that in a lined area? I didn't see where it was, which, we'll let those facts come to play as they continue.
Yeah, just, I never thought about that. You got to rinse out those rail yards and cars, and, is that going to be over a lined area? I just think that if they're going to put it there, then a couple of Republic's big folks need to come down here and live right next to it, just downstream from it. And it's amazing how folks will want to put something somewhere and not want to live there. But, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to this coal ash situation, because you got rules and regulations from the government and laws on one side, then you got the court of public opinion on the other side, and trying to figure out how in the world can we stop that rail yard from being built and those tons and tons of coal ash coming in. What else do you think is going to be a big issue for our district? Maybe Tommy's giving you some ideas, or maybe some folks out there that you've talked to said this is what we need to be looking for next year.
Yeah, I think the 10 weeks of talking to people in and around the district has really given me the best insight. Religious freedom, and these are issues, remember, like if you had asked anyone a year ago about coal ash, you probably wouldn't have heard much of anything.
What's that?
Yeah, nobody knew what it was.
Yeah, I get that on my hand when I'm...
Yeah, same thing probably last, if you had asked someone last August, September, October about religious freedoms, you probably would have gotten the same response. So one of the things I think to remember about the General Assembly is the issue that's coming, the issue that might be the one that takes the air out of the room, might be one we're not thinking about yet. Where you're going to see me continue to focus is on the things that got us 57% of the vote, talking about jobs, talking about infrastructure, and talking about taxes.
So what do you have any ideas or plans on? You're talking about the jobs. You know, so much of the growth is up there in the Atlanta area, where you really are a two-area state. You know, with Atlanta and its area, then the rest. I would say the rest of Georgia. How do we get that growth down this way?
Well, remembering some of the things that we've already started talking about, even with coal ash, is that Atlanta has some things they need. They have trouble with transportation. They don't have a whole lot of land, and they ain't got a whole lot of water. And guess what our area has? We have land, we have labor, and we've got water. So why can we not begin to reallocate some of the resources that are currently strangleholding the metro area down south? And that's going to be done with transportation. How are we going to move people? How are we going to move goods? Are we going to have the infrastructure in place that when those companies wish to locate here, that they have the cell service, the broadband access, et cetera, so that they can locate here, make money, and that the people who are under 30 are going to want to live here? So I think we talked a little bit about that last time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The folks who are under 30, they're not necessarily interested anymore in how much they're making on an hourly rate. They're interested in their quality of life. They're interested, can they plug their computer in a sidewalk cafe and upload their pictures of whatever they're doing, whether it's an architectural drawing to the company in Charlotte, Charleston, et cetera. If they can do that, then I think we have an opportunity to continue to locate jobs in Southeast Georgia.
What with the deepening of the harbor, in Savannah, the deepening of that there where there's bigger ships coming in, what's that going to mean to South Georgia?
I think it's going to mean a lot of extra traffic for the first thing, and you're seeing them begin to prepare I-16. We're not ready for that yet. I was at a meeting not too long ago in Statesboro, talking about economic development for Southeast Georgia, where they referred to I-16 as the corridor to the Americas. Well, the corridor to the Americas is currently a two-lane road in one direction and a two-lane road in the other. That isn't what you think about when you think about the corridor to the Americas, I don't think. So we're going to have to do some things to realize that as that avenue continues to fill up, folks are going to look for other roads to take. Roads aren't the only infrastructure issue, though, that we have to develop if we want jobs. And I think that's where sometimes you say infrastructure, people immediately go to roads. We also have to have water and the ability to service that and get that to people. We also have to have the infrastructure with the fiber and cell service, which I think is probably where our area sees the most potential to make the most drastic change.
Okay. More fiber.
Well,
faster internet.
But you're looking because you're looking now at moving information.
Right.
It's not
just information.
It's not just about YouTube videos.
It's going to be interesting to see how I-16 continues to have more traffic going on. I-16 used to be one of those interstates you could get on and just go for miles sometimes and not see anybody or hardly see anybody. Unlike other interstates, you get on any other interstate in the state of Georgia, and there's cars everywhere.
Right.
But I guess maybe one day you'll see 16 from Savannah, probably maybe all the way to Statesboro, 3-lane in both directions one day, maybe 4-lane.
Who knows? And you can see that growth. It's not just going to stick on your interstates now. Remember when Liberty County was really just a sleepy bedroom community? Now it is much bigger than that. And you're seeing that growth spill over into Long. And guess who's next? Wayne.
Yeah, Long County's got a lot of that.
We can see that as that continues to grow, which it puts a lot of pressure on your local officials as well. And I remember... I'm still currently in that position over in Toombs County. It puts a lot of pressure on your local officials to say, hey, listen, how are we going to be able to control this growth in such a way that we're not losing the quality of life that our citizens already enjoy?
I know that you've been on the chairman of the county commission over there in Toombs County. What have y'all done over there in Toombs County that has helped the growth in that county in Vidalia and Lyons?
I think the first thing we did is we've reduced property taxes every year I was in office, remembering that you're not spending your own money, that when people write their tax check, they're writing their own tax check. We had to come up with some creative solutions ourselves. One of the big projects we were able to land was Chicken of the Sea. Chicken of the Sea did not want to come that far from Savannah when they originally were locating their plant. They wanted to be within, I think it was like a 70-mile radius of the port so they could get their tuna in, get it frozen really quickly and within a certain time frame. To move to Toombs County, to go that extra 20 or 30 miles, whatever it would be, was going to cost them so much in additional in labor. And rather than going in and saying, hey, we're going to write you a blank check of $200,000 to come to Toombs County, instead, what our development authority did is said, hey, we will pay the additional freight from where you were willing to go to Toombs County per truckload, which was smart for our citizens, because if they're bringing in the truckloads, guess what we've got? The jobs when they get there. And rather than the carte blanche check that you don't never know if you're going to see the return. So
now, has that worked out for Toombs County?
It's worked out really well for Toombs County.
And you're having to pay out all that extra money.
Well, but remember,
you're getting it back in from the taxes.
You were doing it based on the number of trucks they were bringing, correct? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just a blank check. And then you've seen the expansion of Dot Foods. Our industry works well together. In fact, when we were recruiting Chicken of the Sea, Dot Foods, it's a major food redistributor across Southeast Georgia. They took and moved all their Chicken of the Sea products to the fronts of their coolers, so that when the Chicken of the Sea execs walk through, it's things like that. Listen, and Toombs is not the exception to the rule. Your folks down here in Wayne County are incredibly talented, and they're doing the same things down here.
Yeah, it's worked out well. You go through the district, the 11 counties of the district, and you got some that are very sleepy, and you got other ones that are progressive. And I think Wayne and Toombs are a couple of the most progressive ones in the 11 counties.
Right, Appling, among others.
And Appling.
And I think, though, that the areas of this district that may have been, I'm going to use your words, a little more sleepy, they're primed for a lot of growth as well. You see I-16 runs right through the heart of Truitland. Remember, this district goes from McCray to Hinesville and from Sloperton to Jessup. It's a huge district, and we see a lot of potential.
Now, Blake Tillery, who just won the Republican nomination for state Senate, you don't have no Democrat opposition, so you will be the state senators to come in January once Tommy Williams leaves that post and continues on with his life. And when you get ready to get started with all this and get going, what do you have to look at and study between now and January to make sure you hit the ground running there in Atlanta?
I think the thing that you have to continue to do is what you were doing during the campaign. This morning I went to breakfast at Hardee's, because folks aren't going to, their lives don't stop. And your life doesn't stop either. So the issues that might have been important on May 24th of Election Day, that might not be the pressing issue on December 31st or even on February 1st in the middle of session. So you have to stay accessible. You have to stay connected. You'll still see me down here a lot for several reasons. One, remember, my wife's from here and my in-laws are gonna want to see us. And the other thing is, I enjoy people. Folks down here have been so kind to me. We would not have done as well. I think the final number is somewhere around 54% in Wayne County had it not been for Steve Dixon and Eric Elliott and Melba Murphy and so many people, Mickey Thomaston, who were helping us. I'm not gonna. Those are my friends now. I'm gonna still be calling them and coming down to visit.
Right. And so soon you'll head off, as soon as you get through the show here, up to Atlanta for caucuses with other senators today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Meeting with the majority leader and certain other senators to, again, kind of, they invited me up. I think they were having a caucus meeting and they invited me to attend, since, as you said, unless someone mounts quite the write-in campaign, it looks like I probably will be the senator in January.
Are you still the county chairman there in Toombs until the end of the year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got that responsibility to continue to do that, right?
I do, and to train the guys coming behind me, and he'll be a good asset, I think, for our entire community as well.
Okay, was that elected position for this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir. My term ends in December.
Because in Toombs County, y'all have the chair, you have the councilman and chairman, right?
What do you mean?
Here in Wayne County, our chairman rotates every year. We have 5 council members, and every year they vote for another who's going to be the chairman for that year and vice chairman.
We do it differently.
You do it differently in Toombs. You actually vote county-wide for a chairman. Is that right?
Correct. It's the chairman's elected and serves for 4 years.
Okay.
And my 4 years ends in December.
And how many other commissioners, county commissioners, are there in Toombs County?
There are 4 district commissioners.
Okay, 4 districts and then 1 chairman. See, that's the way it was up in Aiken, South Carolina when I lived up there. There was a chairman that was voted by all the county, and then you had your commissioners from the different districts. Wayne County, of course, has done that different for all these years. It's 5 districts, and they vote each year who the chairman and vice chairman is going to be between the 5 of them.
Right, and I guess Mr. Hickox is the chairman.
Yeah, he's the chairman right now because the other one resigned. Right. All right. Well, Blake, we know that you've got to get up to Atlanta and get your toe in the water and get started with this. We look forward to having you on the Butch and Bob Show. I know that we were talking out there in the green room before we went on the air. as we were enjoying those boiled shrimp and blue M&Ms, that you're going to try to call in ever so often during the session while you're up there for 5 or 10 minutes, just to give us an update on what's happening over there in Atlanta under the dome, right?
If you'll allow me to do so, I would love to do so. I appreciate the opportunity to continue to connect and talk to more citizens. Again, if you have any issues that need to be addressed even before I would take office in January, my cell phone number is still 912-245-9915. Feel free to call at any time. And then my website is blaketillery.com, but my email at blake@blaketillery.com. I will certainly would love to hear your ideas, particularly if you're involved in an area of the state and you think we could do something better.
So what's that email address again?
It's blake@blaketillery.com. BLAKE.
Blake@blaketillery.com.
Yes, sir.
All right, Blake@blaketillery.com.
So, and thank y'all for allowing me to be on the show again.
Have you had a chance to get any hours in as being an attorney?
I've been trying to catch up a little bit this past week. I have 6 employees, and so far all their paychecks are still cashed. And
oh, good.
And they're just really an awesome group. Just to be able to put up with me, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Second only to my wife, I suppose. So.
All right, Blake Tillery. Blake, we know you got to get on up there to Atlanta. Thank you very much for coming down today and speaking with us after your victory. Congratulations on that. And we look forward to working with you in the future concerning the issues of our district, and especially here in the Wayne County area.
Thank you so much, Butch.
All right, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country. We'll be back more of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in a moment.
The new Piggly Wiggly store in Jessup Cherry Street Center is coming soon, and Piggly Wiggly would like to announce a hiring event for Friday, June 24th. The hiring event will take place at the Goodwill Job Connection Center, located directly behind the Goodwill store in Jessup. The event will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please remember to bring proper ID, documents, and any resumes that have already been prepared. If you wish, you can email resumes starting May 25th at jobconnections123@gmail.com. Attention, Barbara Curry. Again, the grand opening date right now is expected to be around Piggly Wiggly's 100th anniversary on September 16, 2016. Again, Piggly Wiggly thanks Wayne County for its support. Looks forward to bringing a local hometown grocery store to Jessup.
Encore Music Festival, Saturday, June 25th in Jessup at the JC's Fairgrounds, starring Corey Smith,
Straight out of Nashville.
Lance Stenson, John Langston, Crystal Hopkins, and the Battle of the Bands winner. Advanced general admission, $20. VIP tickets, $40 at EncoreMusicFestival.com, Sybil's Family Restaurant in Jessup, and the Encore Music Festival Facebook page. Parking, $5, with a portion of the proceeds going to the Boys and Girls Club. Gates open at 3 p.m. Bring your own chairs. The Encore Music Festival, sponsored by I-95 Toyota and Scion and the Bud Light Party.
All right, 824, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, and that festival out there, Country Music Festival, coming up here in Wayne County in a few weeks. So we got some tickets we're going to give away on that, so keep tuned in for your chance to win. Well, Bob, how's it going?
Good. I'm looking for other guests. Are they here?
That's right. We did have some other guests coming in this morning. Are they out there anywhere?
I don't know.
I haven't seen the door open.
Said the children's community theater coming in and talk about their play tonight.
Anybody out there in the green room from the children's drama department? I don't see anybody out there in the green room. Come on in back this way. They got the radio on out there so they could hear us. I don't remember seeing anybody come in.
I guess we got stood up. So.
It's okay. I didn't see him come in, so I just kept talking.
Anyway, the play's tonight and tomorrow night at the K. Cagle Theater, 6:30 showtime. So made contact and they said they'd be here this morning. So
okay, well they missed out on it, but at least you talked about it a little bit there. All righty. Well, here we are on this Thursday, second day of January, and anything on your mind this morning you want to talk about?
Like I said, looking for a new coach. Hoping that works out. Talked to Bo Adams yesterday afternoon. I said they interviewed 7 candidates, and they're trying to move quickly on that situation. So we'll see how that plays out. I said I was hoping the man from Richmond Hill was coming and made the logical choice, but we'll see how it plays out. Don't know who's going to get the job, but we're not in a good time frame. It's not a normal situation where you get a whole year to bring the new person in. With the situation as it is, a familiar face to the kids, the staff, the community would be a logical fit. But I still got my fingers crossed that's where we're going. But where it is, that may not be where we're going. So we'll see how it plays out.
Okay. Have we had any other ones that you know of said they'd like they've come over and looked or talked and put their resume in or something and then just stay where they are and got a little bit more money where they were?
I hadn't heard any other names. Like I said, that's the one person I've talked to that was very interested in coming over and being the head coach and athletic director. And like I said, the staff was hoping that was going to take place. Kids I talked to were hoping that would take place, but we'll see how it plays out.
So is that still a local decision?
Like I said, the principal makes his recommendation to the superintendent, and like he told me yesterday, normally that recommendation goes to the board, but if the superintendent doesn't agree with his recommendation, then the superintendent's recommendation goes to the board. But the board will have the ultimate decision to approve or disapprove the recommendation. So, we'll see how it all plays out. So, all right, interesting how it all does play out. So, but like I said, they've already started off season conditioning program. The current staff's out there working hard, trying to keep everything together until the new person is in place. So they're trying to get that person in place as quickly as possible. But,
so they are looking for a new head coach and /AD, right?
Right. They're not separating the two positions.
Okay.
So the salary stays the same, I guess. So it's an attractive position, 6-figure salary, nice position.
Well, it
creates a lot of interest.
Yeah, it does create a lot of interest.
There's a lot of people in these smaller communities that, hey, give me that job. I want that job. So.
You got that good track record. You know what it means for a community to have a winning football program, especially one that gets in the playoffs and moves deep into the playoffs each year. It means a lot to community. It means a lot to the school. It means a lot to the other sports programs too, because that brings in so much extra revenue and community pride. So I'm sure that they'll make the right decision on bringing in a person who's got that proven track record. Because we've got a community and a touchdown club, everything that deserves to have that A-list guy,
Yeah, like I said, the Matt Lazat puzzle fits perfectly. Like I said, it appeases the student players, it appeases the coaching staff in place, it appeases everybody that knows this guy. So it makes logical sense, but unfortunately, sometimes we don't go logical sense. So we'll just see how it plays out.
Okay, we'll see what happens, Bob. All right, anything else in your mind this morning?
NBA Finals.
It starts tonight.
Should be fun. I said, we'll see. I said last time these two teams hooked up last year, Cleveland was dismantled. No Kevin Love, no Kyrie Irving. A couple other players banged up there at full strength. The Splash Brothers are at full strength, so we'll see how it plays out. Game 1 tonight, but I still say Golden State wins it pretty easily. We'll see how it plays out.
We'll find out. Okay, Bob, have a good day. World famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Parker Insurance and Realty located on Macon Street in downtown Jessup across from the Heritage Bank. It's 8:29 coming your way, and in just a moment, we're going to have news from Fox News Radio.
Hi, we're the Blueberry Buddies, here with some juicy details about the Georgia Blueberry Festival. June 3rd and 4th at Goldwasser Park in Elma. You'll find lots of sweet things to do, including the chance to see living history with a Civil War camp at Indian Village. The festival will also include a fun run, the Blueberry Jam concert and dance, pie eating contest, and a parade. Of course, there will be lots of sweet, delicious blueberries and the tasty blueberry pancake breakfast. Plus arts and crafts, great entertainment, and so much more. Get all the details at GeorgiaBlueberryFestival.org. You'll be blue if you miss the annual Georgia Blueberry Festival, June 3rd and 4th at Goldwasser Park in Elma.
The 42nd Annual Georgia Blueberry Festival is brought to you by Richmond Baking, Bacon Theater Incorporated, First Franklin Financial Corporation, ATC, Woody Folsom Auto Group, MBG Marketing, Alma Exchange Bank and Trust, Bacon County Farm Bureau, and by Georgia Power.
It is 8:30. You're listening to WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, Thursday morning, second day of June. It is now time for the latest news from Fox News Radio.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Bernie Sanders is confident in California.
This campaign is going to win.
But Hillary Clinton's also confident that no matter what happens in California's primary next week, she'll be the Democratic nominee, so her focus is all on Donald Trump. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Hillary Clinton says Donald Trump is trying to scam America, and she claims he'll play fast and loose with foreign policy.
He's advocated more countries getting nuclear weapons. This is not just divisive rhetoric, my friends. This is dangerous.
Clinton is set to deliver a speech on foreign policy in San Diego today. Trump says he got a forward copy of her remarks.
And it was such lies about my foreign policy.
During a trip to Indiana, President Obama didn't mention Trump by name, but he did take a dig at what he called the Republican nominee's tweeting habits. Dave?
Rachel, there's a police standoff at a house in California, and it comes hours after 2 officers were shot and wounded. Fox's Hank Weinblum has details live.
Yeah, it's been going on all night in Fremont in the San Francisco Bay Area. We're not in any hurry to go in there. County Sheriff Sergeant Ray Kelly. Late last night at a traffic stop, the suspect shot 2 officers. One's in critical condition, the other's stable. The suspect got away. There was a lockdown, a house-to-house search, and finally, police located him in a house. They fired tear gas. The house now on fire. but the gunman has not surrendered. It's not clear if he's alive or dead, and as morning breaks in Fremont, Dave, the standoff continues.
Thanks. Students will be back in class at UCLA the morning after a murder-suicide that left engineering professor William Klug dead. The shooter's not been named. A note was found.
We were pleased at the way in which notifications went out, troubled by some reports of unlocked doors, but we want to review everything and make sure that the campus is as safe as possible.
UCLA Executive Vice Chancellor Scott Waugh. Former Palm Beach Gardens, Florida cops due in court today charged with manslaughter in the shooting of a black man last year. Prosecutors say that ex-officer Nuwan Raja lied to a 911 operator afterwards, saying the victim was still armed and threatened when he was actually dead. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Thousands of people are choosing to drive with Uber. That's where the riders are. So drivers have less downtime, are busier making more trips, earning more money.
I choose to drive with Uber because of the money and flexibility. I'm my own boss. I get to do what I want, when I want, and still earn extra money. Driving with Uber is the smartest thing I've done.
Earn the extra money you need. Just an hour or two a day and the money adds up fast when you drive with Uber. Get started today. Take 2 minutes and sign up right now. Go to drivewithuber.com. Drivewithuber.com.
Life can be unpredictable. That's why you should take control of your family's future now with an estate plan bundle from LegalZoom. Not sure whether you need a last will or a living trust? LegalZoom's network of independent attorneys in 48 states can help you decide which one's right for you without billing by the hour, since LegalZoom isn't a law firm. Plus, updating your estate plan as your family and assets grow couldn't be easier. Enjoy your life. Use LegalZoom for the legal stuff. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
An admission from the State Department. Someone there did not like an exchange between a Fox News reporter and a spokeswoman on secret talks with Iran. So
they deliberately deleted an 8-minute exchange about whether or not they lied to hide Iran talks. That exchange, an investigation found, was removed from State's YouTube channel and replaced with a white flash just minutes after a briefing in 2013, when an editor got a call from someone at State delivering specific orders to delete our correspondent James Rosen's questions and then spokeswoman Jen Psaki's answers. But since that editor can't remember who called with those instructions, don't expect anyone to get in trouble.
That's Fox's Peter Ducey. 4.4 million more vehicles added to that massive recall of Takata airbags that are defective. They're from GM, Volkswagen, Ford, Daimler, BMW, Jaguar Land Rover, and Mercedes-Benz, all part of an expanded recall already announced. These airbags can spew shrapnel, exploding when during a crash, and they're blamed for deaths, 11 at least. The Olympics start in about 2 months in Rio, but in Japan, they have 2020 vision, looking ahead to those summer games with some new events.
The International Olympic Committee backing a plan to add 5 sports to the 2020 Games in Tokyo, including skateboarding and surfing. The move part of a drive to broaden the Olympics' appeal to young spectators. The other sports also on course for a place at the Games are rock climbing, karate, and a return for baseball and softball, dropped after the Beijing Games in 2008. The sports have been selected by Japanese organisers. Under new rules, host nations can bring in sports that are popular in their countries.